Welcome to our daily Devo for this Wednesday, the 23rd of October today. Again, our thoughts are being drawn from the book, Whom Shall I Fear? A whole series of meditational thoughts, 366 scriptures for following Christ and facing persecution, put out by Voice of the Martyrs, a well-known organization that's their focus. Having us donate, having us pray for, remember those who are being persecuted simply because they have followed Jesus. Today's passage is Luke chapter 1. Sounds like it might be a Christmas one. Luke 1, 46 to 53. And Mary said, "My soul magnifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in God my Savior, for he has looked on the humble estate of his servant. For behold, from now on all generations will call me blessed. For he who is mighty and has done great things for me, and holy is his name. And his mercy is for those who fear him from generation to generation. He has shown strength with his arm. He has scattered the proud in the thoughts of their hearts. He has brought down the mighty from their thrones and exalted those of humble estate. He has filled the hungry with good things, and the rich he has sent away empty." Mary had much to fear. Her pregnancy threatened to end her engagement to Joseph and leave her facing punishment for adultery. Yet even in the face of uncertain circumstances, she feared the Lord and chose to glorify God. What is your response to uncertainty in your life? That's a good one. That's a good question to think about long term. How do I respond when there's some uncertainty in my life? I get tense. I feel like a weight is on me. I know something needs to be done, but I can't get to it for other reasons, for things happen that you had no control over. So what do? We fear that thing, that event, that responsibility, or do we turn to the Lord and simply say, "Help me, Lord. Calm my spirit. Remind me of how many times you have come through for me in the past when I feared, and the next thing I know, it was past, and you had handled it." That's a peaceful attitude for me. I don't always do it well. Mary certainly did have much to be afraid of. Joseph had tough decision to make as well because of the culture, because of what it would look like. And we know that people whispered. It's indicated in other passages. Jesus is treated by the Pharisees as a born out of wedlock child, a bastard, as we say. Who is his father? They would ask, as a spiteful question. Mary would deal with the same kind of issues. And yet they both trusted in him, walked the path that he called them to, asked them to walk, in spite of the difficulties that may be there, and eventually the difficulties that were there. Fleeing to Egypt, coming back, somewhere in there, we don't know where. Sometime after Jesus turned the age of 12, Joseph disappears from the scene, whether he died, whatever, we don't have any idea. But we know that when they take Jesus to be presented at the temple, to be named they hear a troubling story from the old man of God there. This child will suffer and you will suffer too. He says to Mary, your soul will be pierced with what will eventually happen to him. When we begin to follow Jesus, do we have the right to expect that everything will be fine and hunky-dory now? That he'll solve all my problems, I'll never have issues again? That's unrealistic, because we are still who we are. But the Lord is there to help us, and that's the important part. He's there for us in the middle of the storm. Blessings to you today.